Welcome to the Cantina Chatter Podcast. Everyone, and welcome back. I'm Victoria, your host here on the Cantina Chatter Podcast, your resource for Star Wars, new and retro toys, pop culture, and randomness from the 80s and 90s. Hello friends, and welcome back to another episode of Cantina Chatter Podcast. It's been a minute since we've had an opportunity to sit down and have some toys to talk about, but we've recently had something happen, actually just yesterday, that'll enable us an opportunity to talk some toys, and at that, some Star Wars toys. And to help me do that, we have Brooklyn's biggest Star Wars toy fan, Tom Charlton. How are you doing, Tom?
Oh, I'm doing all right, Victoria. How are you?
I am doing swell. It looks like there's a good bit that came out yesterday that in terms of toys. And I know a lot of people have been asking, where's Cantina Chatter? Where's the latest episode of Cantina? You know what? Who am I kidding? Nobody has asked that.
I was asking.
You are asking. Does anybody even listen to this show? We do. We listen to it. I listen to it.
Oh, also, Victoria, by the way, happy May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
Tom, happy May the 4th. May the 4th be with you.
And also remember, there's no Revenge of the 5th, because that's Cinco de Mayo. That's already a holiday.
It can be both.
Don't take it.
It can be both. It can be both.
It can be.
It can be, how about this? A Star Wars-inspired Cinco de Mayo party.
I mean, isn't that all Cinco de Mayo parties? It's just, maybe it's just the ones I go to.
Yeah, it's probably just the kinds that we think about and go to. And yeah. So yeah, we're still in quarantine.
Yup, 8 weeks now. Is this the start of week 8, or is this the end? I think this is the start of week 8, the beginning of week 8. Yep.
Tom, I don't even know. Yesterday, I wasn't even sure if it was Friday or Saturday.
Yep.
It felt like Saturday, but I guess it was Friday.
It feels like day now. It's just day.
Yeah, it's
there's
weird.
There's day and there's night. Yeah.
There's day and there's night, and my schedule is totally thrown off. I've just been at home, so sometimes I'll be up to like 4 or 5 in the morning working on my Discoveryland podcast, or whatever else I'm doing, and sometimes I'll be waking up like at 1 in the afternoon, and I'm like, what's going on here? I'll be having lunch at 3 p.m. I'm like, this, it's starting to get to me. There's no rhyme or reason to any of my habits these days. I'm just doing things as I do them.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I'm still working remote, so I'm trying to keep my normal work schedule like that, but it bleeds a bit into the weekends now. Which is okay. But it does make it a little bit trickier to figure out what day is what. And yeah, there's no real differentiation with anything else. It's not like, oh, today's the day I go to the bar. Which, exactly. In fairness, that was every day anyway. Who am I kidding?
Yeah, I do know when pizza night is, because that's usually on Fridays. But even then, yesterday I was kind of confused. But yeah, that's kind of been a lifelong really tradition ever since I was a kid. My mom would get us pizza on Friday nights, because it was Friday. Yeah, and I've kind of maintained that into adulthood. So, so that's something that's continuing. Yeah, actually, we went out yesterday for the first time. We went to walk near the beach. Beaches reopened this week in our area in San Diego, and yeah, the only thing that they said was, hey, May 1st, if you're going out in public, you have to wear a mask. So we go down to the beach to walk. There's not a ton of people, but I would say maybe 75 to 80% of them did not have masks.
Yeah, that sucks.
It does.
I was outside a bit yesterday too, and most of the people had masks. Maybe 25% didn't. People are being, we're still an epicenter here in New York, so
sure.
So people are being pretty smart here. There's, everyone's maintaining their social distancing stuff. Speaking of pizza, you know what I just ordered off of Amazon just before you called.
They sell pizza on Amazon?
No, well, no, they sell dried yeast, which you can't buy anywhere around here anymore. And I bought a pizza stone.
Nice.
Because my lovely wife has been making pizza, but using like a Pillsbury dough, which is delicious. But they've been out of that for a little bit, and she's sort of been itching to make the dough. So I was like, all right, well, I have to buy the yeast on Amazon. I'll get a nice pizza stone while at it.
Very nice, very nice. What else are you doing to get yourself through this self-isolation period?
Oh, I watch toy videos and listen to people talk about toys. I've been working on a personal project of mine, which I'm going to release on Monday, and that's fun. But we've been playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, which is fun-ish. It's gorgeous. It's amazing looking. It's really neat, but they definitely filled it up with some fluff to make the first part of the game seem bigger. And sometimes that fluff is a little frustrating for someone who's not a gamer, like either my wife or I. But I'm playing it on stupid easy mode, so when you have to fight monsters, you just kind of mash the button until it dies. So at least that's not frustrating. It's a very neat game,
Nice.
and we've been watching random things. But it's for me. I still just get very excited about toys. I got the Mortal Kombat Spawn finally this last week. It is amazing. It's incredible. I've been following the Todd McFarlane Kickstarter with his Spawn that he is coming out with that I pre-ordered on the first day. I think it's at $2.5 million now. That Kickstarter. That's amazing.
Yeah. I saw that.
Yeah. Oh, it's just crazy. It's crazy. And he comes out with a new video like every couple days, being like, "Hey, everyone, here's a new free thing I'm throwing in because we passed this milestone."
Nice.
Seems like a jolly guy. Yeah, basically that.
Right on. I've been spending a lot of time organizing my collection. It's actually something I started doing like once, all this began like in mid-March, but I just have so much stuff. It takes so much time to go through it all. And then I, start as soon as I finish like dusting my displays, I have to start dusting them again. So,
Right.
I just got, they're jam-packed. You've seen them, like they're jam-packed with toys and, new toys come in. So you got to make room for the new toy on the shelf and, this and that. So, but that's been fun. It's looking really cool. I'll have to, once I get this, I'm working on this right now, the Star Wars 3 3/4 inch display. So once that's done, I will certainly send you some pictures so you can check that out.
Oh, awesome. Like, what's your focus this time? Are you changing it up? I know you had the Cantina for a while and you had Jabba's Palace. Are you switching it to a different setup?
No, those are going to stay. Those are kind of like my favorite things. Ever since I was a kid, and I was buying Star Wars toys, like I've always been most interested in the Cantina and Jabba's Palace. So those are going to stay. I did kind of rearrange them a little bit. And one thing I am adding is the Lars Homestead. That's going to be going into...
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so I'm adding that to the one with the Sandcrawler. So that way we have a nice little Tatooine scene going on there.
How much does that go for on eBay now? I remember buying that for my friend, a friend of mine, a number of years ago for Christmas from Toys R Us. I think it was $40 or something.
When it was at Toys R Us, it started out at 60 in 2008, I think it was when it came out. And I was working at Toys R Us at the time, and I remember seeing it there.
Oh, sweet.
But now it's going for $150.
Yeah, it's incredible, some of this stuff.
Yeah, I barely added. The only reason I know that's because I barely added one to the collection. That's why it's going on the shelf. So, despite working at Toys R Us, you're working at Toys R Us. You're not making a ton of money. You're not.
Oh yeah.
You can buy maybe a couple of figures at a time, and so I finally got this. And one thing that I discovered about it is, I was talking to my friend Greg about this. When we were looking at them online, there's variations of the Lars Homestead like that we weren't aware of. And they're all related to the actual homestead structure, the dome structure. And basically some of them don't have like detailed paint on them. Some of them do have like weathering on the bottom. Some of them have weathering on the bottom and the top. Some of them just have weathering on the top. Some of them have white streaks on them and some don't. So it's, so if you're looking at it on eBay, and I don't think these are really well known. I don't think really people care. So they're all going for roughly around the same price. But if you're interested in it, I was very okay. I did a lot of research. I'm like, which one is the one that looks the best? And
right.
I think I made the right choice because mine has the weathering on the bottom. It's got some of the weathering on top, but it's a little bit lighter. It's not like the weathering on top. I saw some where it just looked kind of overdone. This looks nice. I'll have to send you some pictures of this too because it looks good.
Oh, yeah, definitely do. Because I think that the one that I got didn't have any, there wasn't any weathering or anything. It looked like it was a pretty plain sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at the picture of it on eBay now. Man, yeah, what a dummy I was for not buying one for myself. It's so cool. It's so cool.
It is cool.
Regrets.
It's really, really nice. I like it quite a bit. And other thing I've been doing, my friend got me into this Korean show that's on Netflix. It's called Crash Landing on You. And I'm kind of addicted to it right now.
That's fun. I can't remember what it. We started watching Schitt's Creek, which is okay. That's kind of fun. Yeah, we haven't been binge watching much.
Yeah, no, it's good. My husband and I are finishing up Ozark too. We're at the last episode now. So.
Oh, okay. Yes, I started season 3 of Ozark. That one I never quite power through, but I certainly enjoy it. It's neat seeing Jason Bateman play pretty much the same character from Arrested Development, just, in a more serious situation.
Yeah, he's great. I like him a lot.
He's excellent. He's very, very good.
But yeah, as far as the toys go, I don't even think we mentioned it yet. We're talking about Hasbro's Star Wars fan day that they had yesterday. It was like fan celebration day, in which they were going to be revealing a lot of things via Facebook, Facebook live stream, and they did that. Before we get into that, I just want to, I know we just talked about the Lars Homestead, but is there anything that you've added to your collection lately?
Oh, yeah. I've not Star Wars related. I haven't added anything new Star Wars related, but during this wonderful period of time now, this epidemic, I have received Stondar and Rock-On from Masters of the Universe Classics. Those are two rock guys. Masters of the Universe Classics, if you don't know, is a modern interpretation of the original 80s toy line figures with updated articulation and slightly advanced designs, but still feeling a good homage to the originals. So I got Stondar and Rock-On finally. I got Skeletor's steed Panther, and I got Terror Claw's Skeletor, who's one of the variations on Skeletor, where he's got these giant claws that you plug into his arms, and he wears a purple bra. It's very silly. And the other one I got was the Mortal Kombat Spawn, which I just received this week, which I've been very excited about. It's very, very cool. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, that's some good stuff right there. I haven't really gotten a whole lot for Star Wars either. I think we were talking yesterday, I mentioned that I had added some new vintage collection that I was catching up on. Because as you know, I buy two of each. I have one to open, one to put on the wall, in the clamshell case, the figure shield cases, and I've been catching up on some that I missed. Some of them weren't made available in like high numbers, like Jedi Master Luke or
was that Crate Luke?
No, not Crate Luke. The first one, the just Jedi Master Luke from Last Jedi. And
oh, really?
Yeah, there was that weird wave it was like wave 3, I think. It was like that one, it was Cassian Andor, and I think it was maybe Enfys Nest. I don't remember exactly what was in that wave, but there was like a little bit of a lost wave. I think it was the Death Trooper was in there too.
Oh, wow.
Where
I've got him.
Yeah, he's great. That's one of my favorite card backs, by the way. The Death Trooper's amazing.
Oh, I meant Jedi Master Luke. I've got the Death Trooper too. Yeah, it's a great card back.
Yeah. So no, I kind of been catching up on those. I know I mentioned I got Enfys Nest and had to pay a premium on her from Walmart, but
how much was that?
I think she was like 18.
That's the sort of thing I at this point, that's $4 more than usual.
It's not a ton, but she came in nice condition. I was really worried because it was Walmart. I already had Cassian, but the one that I had kind of had a crease on it. So I was like, let me see if I can get a better one from, order them together. And it was actually really nice. But then when I was like going to put in the clamshell, I noticed that the bubble had a couple little dings in it. So I ended up hanging up the old one that I already had to begin with. But
gotcha.
Anyway, the problems that we collectors have to deal with. First world problems for sure.
Let's stay upset about those things, because the other things out there to be upset about right now are a little bit beyond our ability to control.
Exactly.
So I'd rather be upset about tiny little things like the fact that my Bespin Luke Black Series was, another stolen item from downstairs. Most everyone I know here in New York now, all of our friends have started having missing packages. So that's just becoming a much more frequent thing.
Yeah, that happened to me.
That's right. Yes, it happened to you as well, didn't it?
They took the package. I had an outgoing package. It was a return that was going back to Amazon, and I just set it out there because I've never had a problem. The UPS guy, we've had problems in the past where I can't answer the door, or something, and he leaves a note. He says, "Just leave the package out," and I'm like, "All right." So I usually leave him out, but so he came by, and I'm like, "Sorry, the package I think got stolen." So what happened was somebody came to the door, I guess, with a shoebox empty, and they left the shoebox, and then they took the return package. So I guess they thought if they approached the house with a package, it might look like they were delivering something. And they ended up stealing my return package. So go figure.
That's lovely. While most people are maintaining social distancing guidelines and wearing masks going outside in order to relieve the hospitals from getting overwhelmed, some people are out there stealing packages because they have an opportunity to do so. These people are dirtbags.
Yep.
Yep. What are you gonna do? Thankfully, my missing packages I'm always able to get replaced by Amazon or Hasbro Pulse. Time that happened with them.
Yeah, this was a return, so I'm probably going to get charged for it, but what can you do?
That stinks. Yeah, that stinks.
Yeah, but in any case, you mentioned Bespin Luke. That's one that got stolen. I hope you're able to get it replaced because that is an amazing figure.
I know. It's supposed to arrive tomorrow. I watched your video. Was it on Bespin Luke? It might have been on Bespin Luke.
Yes.
Where you're talking about the fact that I thought Jedi Luke was amazing. I think he's absolutely stunning. And then you said, he looks like Aunt Beru. And I look at it, and I'm like, huh. That's pretty accurate. I still love it. But man,
it's just weird. I mean, I feel like it. Yeah, it's just like the heads on our, and this is nothing new. This is something that's been going on since the 3 3/4 inch line started forever ago, and they've never been able to nail Luke's likeness, and
no,
they're always different. Like if you have one Luke figure next to another, they always look so different. So I guess it's just Mark Hamill. He's elusive and trying to, his aesthetic is very elusive or something. So, but I don't know. I feel like this Bespin Luke so far, anyway, in 6-inch, to me, it seems like it's the most accurate.
It looks pretty good. I hate to say it. I hope they re-release Farm Boy Luke from the first Star Wars movie again with the upgraded face stuff because. And something, maybe get rid of the stupid soft goods on that one too. Like I'm the biggest proponent of soft goods. My wife and I get into arguments about this. I love soft goods capes and soft goods robes and soft goods everywhere. I love a character that's able to get as much articulation as possible. Even, someone as dumb as the Emperor, whose thing is he sits in a chair. It's like, I know I want him to have cloth robes so I can pose him, and then I pose him sitting in a chair. But Farm Boy Luke, there's no need for him to have a soft goods tunic at all. There's no need for that. It's not a robe. It's just a thing that he wears.
Exactly.
Make a better version of that one, guys. You guys, we know you, Hasbro. You can knock it out of the park.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true. But in any case, should we get on to the Hasbro reveals from yesterday?
Yes. Let's do that. Oh my gosh, what's that at the door? It's Baby Yoda Monopoly.
Baby Yoda Monopoly. So this was the first thing that they announced, right? It was the Baby Yoda Monopoly game. Yeah. How many versions of Monopoly are there?
There's so many versions. I'm a Nazi fascist. I only like to play traditional original Monopoly. I played Star Wars Monopoly once in college because everyone's like, it's Star Wars Monopoly, and you love Star Wars, Tom. And that was back when there was only 4 Star Wars movies, by the way. And I hate it. I hate any other version of Monopoly. It's such a dumb thing to get worked up about. It's so silly, but I'm like, no. It needs to be Boardwalk. It needs to be Reading Railroad. It needs to be all these normal things. No changes. No changes. So other versions of Monopoly, I do not engage with.
Nice. Yeah. I wonder if there's anybody that just collects Monopoly. Like, that's what they collect. They collect all the variations of...
I would bet so.
Which would be hard to do, because, like, they make, like, a version for every, like, sports team, don't they? And, like, every college football team and...
Yeah, you can get, like, almost personalized editions of Monopoly. Like almost. Like, it gets real specific.
Yeah, you land, like, on green. It's like, oh, do I want to buy Grandma?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they should be coming out with coronavirus for Monopoly.
Oh no! No.
That's one where you stay on Go and you don't leave Go, and you hope to be given $200 at some point in time, and that's it. That's the game.
And if you're in jail, then they just let you go free,
or you die.
Or that.
So yeah, Baby Yoda Monopoly.
Baby Yoda Monopoly. Yeah, enough said. Baby Yoda Monopoly.
Maybe, guys, that's not one to share for, like, your fan channel, like, excitement sort of thing.
Let's see. And let's see if we can even get to a point where we can play Monopoly with people again.
Oh, God, yeah, right. Yeah, have they created an online version of Monopoly yet?
Yeah, I think they did a long time ago.
Yeah, all right.
But, anyway, Black Series Baby Yoda. So this is nothing new, but I guess they just wanted to say, hey, he's shipping, and yeah, Dorkside Toy Star is shipping them. Entertainment started shipping them.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think mine is being shipped.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I had pre-ordered it on Amazon, and obviously this was all before, like, COVID-19,
right.
So, he hasn't shipped.
Oh, okay. I ordered mine on Amazon too, so I guess mine hasn't shipped either. But it's supposed to be around now-ish, I think.
It is supposed to be around now, but I think, because of whatever's going on, they haven't. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But so after that, it was the new Black Series Stormtrooper. Okay, so this was the first, like, legitimate thing that they announced that was actually a brand new product. And, I know how, your thoughts on it. Kind of, I can already kind of gauge your interest in it. But for me, I was just thinking about this the day before. I think I mentioned that to you at the time. Like, I was just thinking about this, why haven't they updated such an important figure? Yeah, the Stormtrooper, such an important figure. And it's currently the one that they've been using for a long time now. Repaints and everything is outdated. It really is. It's 2013 figure. It's a nice figure, but it's not, we're in 2020. It's several years old now. So, I was really excited to see it. I think it looks fantastic.
This is another one, and yeah, you know my response on it. I can't tell what the difference is. I will have to look at both of them next to each other to be able to figure out what it is, because I'm so not good at figuring out the differences in Stormtroopers. Your I think Rogue One Stormtrooper review revealed how that was different from a previous version, and then I could look at it and be like, oh, okay. But, like, because those ones are such small things that it's the only figure that I got that I immediately felt the need to get an upgrade on was the first Season 3 Anakin Clone Wars cartoon style one. They came out with one, and its face didn't look good, and they immediately came out with another one which the face looked better. But beyond that, I tend to not notice. Except now with the face printing stuff.
Yeah.
So like, I don't know if I'll get more Stormtroopers or not. I've got two. I've got one Stormtrooper, and then I've got Luke and Han in Stormtrooper gear. But so I've only got 2 Stormtroopers, regular ones, on display right now. I don't know if I'll get more. If you show me a comparison that really just, like, blows my mind, then it'll be an easy sell for 2 more. Definitely, but we'll have to see on that one.
Yeah, I think you're gonna want it. I mean, it's based off the Rogue One helmet, which is kind of like the perfect, like, symmetrical, like, Stormtrooper helmet, and it also has, like, updated shoulder joints. Like, the shoulder pads actually, it looks like they flip up. That way, you can get your full range of movement, just like just like the Figure Arts Stormtroopers have.
That's
And,
right. You're absolutely correct. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That is a big selling point.
They no longer have the double bending elbows. It looks like they're just like ball jointed elbows, but they have a full range of movement.
Oh, wow.
And same thing with the legs. It looks like they were able to do it without the pins in the legs. So,
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
so
You're selling me on this. You're selling me on this.
yeah, I think you're gonna want it. I'm gonna want 10 of them at least
How many are you gonna get? You
over
gonna
a
get 10?
period over the period of time anyway. But then you start thinking, are they going to re-release like the Imperial Shock Trooper? Are they going to re-release like the one that's the GameStop one that's coming out? From the Force Unleashed. It's like probably not, but who knows.
Oh, they might. People love to buy stormtroopers.
They do.
Whereas I look at our first new reveal is it's a new stormtrooper, and I can't even tell the difference of it beyond I guess his elbow, his shoulders move higher. People love stormtroopers. You can always sell stormtroopers, so always have stormtroopers on the pegs.
Always,
stormtroopers and clone troopers and Boba Fett, right?
Yeah, and vary them up, different paint, schemes, different battalions, different, levels of weathering, shadow stormtroopers, whatever, just always have them on the shelf because they will
always
sell.
Yeah, always have a stormtrooper on the shelf.
Yeah, so that's really exciting to me. The next thing that they announced was the new Camino Gray clone trooper. So season 7, or this is from season 6 of the Clone Wars, and I think from what I can see, and we don't have the best images, it looks to me like it's also a new sculpt.
Oh, well, that'd be cool. I love the normal sculpt on those ones, but if you give me a new sculpt on it, that's cool. I'm definitely gonna buy 2 of this guy.
Yeah, because I'm also not seeing like the pins in the legs or the elbows, so it seems to me like this is new.
Wow, that's cool.
So, it is cool. Now, one of the things that does differentiate the Clone Wars clone troopers from the film counterparts is that there's a black stripe that's missing on the animated clone troopers. So that's also missing. That's also missing on the figure. So I guess they deliberately wanted it to look more like the cartoon version, I guess.
Good. The animated the Clone Wars might have finally dethroned the original trilogy for me. Is my favorite bit of Star Wars content. I am so all in on everything Clone Wars related. I guess we'll get back to that later. But yeah, I'm definitely going to buy 2 of these clones. Love them. I haven't bought Commander Bly because Commander Bly just kind of shows up in the movie to shoot Aayla Secura in the back. And I don't recall him being in the cartoon, so I'm sort of like, and I've heard he's great. I've heard he's a great figure, but like I don't, give me 5s, give me Echo, give me any of those ones. Just repaint the same figure and paint a different thing on his head, and I'll buy it. Sell 5s and Echo as a 2-pack. Charge $50 instead of $40. I'll buy it.
Yeah, no, totally. And this looks great. I like, I don't know, I love the color gray for some reason, like this dark gray color, and I think this looks awesome. But I do have to wonder, like, one of the main things that they're showing in Clone Wars, that's been featured in the last few episodes, it's been, like Ahsoka's, like, portion of the 501st where they have, like, the markings on their helmet that are, the orange markings. It's like, why didn't they do that? That would have been really cool.
Do we want to talk about this now?
Well, I mean, this is, yeah, sure, why not? I mean, okay, so I guess they could do both, right? But I just feel like this is nice, but this is season 6, and, it was like, why aren't we focusing, like, on the current Clone Wars?
Yeah, they've known for at least 18 months that the Clone Wars is coming back. That got announced, when, at San Diego Comic-Con 2 years ago?
Yeah.
So almost, at least 18 months ago, almost 2 years ago, they've known the Clone Wars was coming back. They've known what the episodes are going to be. We saw clips of them back then. There's no reason for them to have not released some Clone Wars content. Like, not just, it's a clone, he's gray this time, which, yay for that. But, like, where's a season 7 Ahsoka? Or a season 3 through 6 Ahsoka? Where's one of these clone troopers? I get that they're probably not going to make the characters from the Bad Batch because they're all such specific things.
Yeah.
But you can make a new pauldron and a new helmet, and you could give us 5s and Echo from the Citadel arc.
Right.
You can just repaint the clone and have it be the one that hangs out with Ahsoka for this current arc that's going on, which is some of the best Star Wars I've ever seen, in my opinion. Oh my God, am I in love with this? The Siege of Mandalore is everything it was built up to be.
It's amazing. And it just like, it's weird, but it's also amazing also having like Clone Wars in 2020, but also like having new like adventures, with featuring Ahsoka. I think that's just like one of the coolest things that we've had in a while. And they're great. And yeah, I mean, I totally hear you. They've known for a while that Clone Wars is going to be coming back, and I know that they're focusing on Empire. They keep saying that, right now the focus is on the 40th anniversary of The Empire Strikes Back, which, that's important too. But in terms of like marketing, you would think that, they'd want to be celebrating, the current content. And, they really kind of missed the ball with Mandalorian. That's why Baby Yoda is 6 months apart from when that came out. And the same thing with like Clone Wars now. It's like, they'll probably have more Clone Wars later in the year, but I mean, right now everybody is like, over the moon about the Clone Wars, and, especially, maybe even people that are like not as hardcore as we are on the show. Maybe, they're finding it for the first time and they're really liking it, and they're more casual fans and they want to buy the merchandise, but will they want to buy the merchandise 6 months from now?
Right. Yeah. It really is. It's a mind-boggling thing. Like, name from these Black Series, how many Clone Wars specific releases have there been?
Like since 2013?
Yep. Yeah.
One.
One. There's been one. Captain Rex, and he's amazing, and we love him. But there's
two.
been one. Oh, what's the other one?
Obi-Wan and Clone Trooper armor.
Oh, right, but that was from the Tartakovsky series.
Yeah,
but it counts.
yes.
It counts. It counts. I forgot about him because I just took his head off and put him on the other Obi-Wan. My wife just handed me a note that accurately states everyone and their mom would have bought a Darth Maul painted Mandalorian at this point. He's got a name now. I forget what it is. Caxon Zazzle or something like that.
Yeah, Saxon.
Saxon, right? Saxon. Yeah, like. I mean that's one. It's just Boba Fett or Jango Fett, and put the horns on his head and paint him different.
Yeah.
It just
Yeah,
Sorry, I'm very frustrated with the lack of Clone Wars content. It really boggles my mind.
I hear you. Speaking of, Clone Wars and, Mandos with Darth Maul painted armor, did you notice, like, in Mandalorian, the armor, that she has, like, those horns on her helmet, too?
Who does?
The armor in Mandalorian.
Oh, the armorer. Oh, I did not notice that.
Yeah, so it kind of makes me wonder, is there going to be some tie-in to Darth Maul in Mandalorian?
Could be. I mean, that's the nice thing about Filoni sort of having his hand in this stuff. He's working really hard to make certain things tie together in certain ways. I know that when Ahsoka's voice showed up in The Rise of Skywalker, people were like, "Oh, that means Ahsoka's dead." And Filoni drew a picture that's like, "Oh, Ahsoka's not dead," or something like that. And there was a bit of a joke about like, "Oh, the entire universe could implode, and don't worry, Ahsoka's not dead." So I was starting to get a little bit of Ahsoka fatigue until the darn Clone Wars comes back and gives me new episodes featuring Ahsoka, and then I'm like, "Yay!" So yeah.
Yeah, totally.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I think they, they're definitely missing the ball in terms of marketing, but I kind of feel like maybe they're past that at this point. It seems like now they're just manufacturing toys specifically to sell to fans rather than to kids. The lightsabers are for kids, but there's not like a mainstream like 5POA 3 3/4 inch line anymore. It's all the vintage collection, which is collector driven. It's all the Black Series, which is collector driven. So I kind of feel like they know that we're going to buy the figures regardless of when they come out. So whether they focus on Empire first half of the year and then shift over to Mandalorian and Clone Wars second half, we're going to be there either way. But, it still is a little bit weird not having some sort of confirmation other than just a clone trooper, that's coming out, later this year.
Yeah, it's mere frustration on my part that I'm not getting the thing I want now. That's it. They took forever to make Count Dooku, and because they took forever to make Count Dooku, he looks like a shrunken down Christopher Lee. He's absolute perfection. One of the best figures I think they've ever made.
Without a doubt.
It's just shocking how good that is. So, maybe they'll they'll be real deers, and they'll make a 6-inch Clone Wars specific line that has the animated look, not the realistic look. I would cry. I would be so happy with that.
That'd be awesome. And yeah, if you think about it, I mean, if they really wanted to do just the bare minimum for that, all they would need to do is, take some of their existing figures, Anakin, Obi-Wan, just change the heads, give them like the animated style heads.
Yep, that's all I need on it.
Yeah, Commander Cody, Captain Rex, any of those. Yeah. That's just the bare minimum. They could resculpt the whole figure and, do like TV show accurate proportions. That'd be a whole different thing. But if they just wanted to do the bare minimum, call it, Star Wars Celebration exclusive or an online exclusive or whatever, and a fan channel exclusive.
Fan channel exclusive, yeah. Sell it to me with the animated heads.
Who wouldn't buy that?
Clone Wars was the thing that really got me back full-time into Star Wars collecting. And it was the animated style of stuff, because I found those designs to be so delightfully fun that I loved having them and loved looking at them.
Yeah.
I like the realistic takes on things. I think it's cool, but that's all I've got to say about that. I love the animated style. It's such a stylized, neat looking thing. It's so creative. I want a little action figure version of those. That's what I liked from the toy line. That's why when they come out with things, they're like, Wolf is coming out in the vintage collection now. Like, that's cool. I'm going to buy one. But I'm only going to buy the one to keep on the card. Right. Because my Commander Wolf he's open and he's an animated character. Because that's where Commander Wolf became a cool character. I don't even think he was in the movie, was he, Wolf? I guess he shoots Plo Koon in the back, and we don't see that, but...
Really? Was that Wolf? I thought that was...
Oh, right. No, Wolf gets out of Order 66, doesn't he? He's in Rebels.
No, it's not. Is it Wolf? No, it's...
Yeah. No, it's Rex, Wolf, and Gregor.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Wolf, yeah.
I think.
Yeah. I haven't seen Rebels in so long. I should rewatch it.
I should rewatch it. Rebels never really stuck it as well for me.
Not as well as Clone Wars, but
no.
It's still light years beyond Resistance.
Oh yeah, poor Resistance. That one, I just couldn't do that one. Whereas in Rebels, I didn't like Ezra, and I never really grew to like Ezra. I liked the other characters, especially like Hera and Kanan and Sabine. Yeah. I liked those three characters an awful lot.
Yeah. Same.
And, sorry, lost my train of thought. But Resistance felt like it was a show that was just full of Ezras.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I finally finished watching it about a week and a half ago. And Resistance, yeah, like I forced myself to finish it because, they put the second season on Disney Plus. So I went ahead and finished it. Uh-huh. And, there were a few episodes like towards the end where it actually got pretty good. There were some episodes where like, what's his name? Not Ezra. I see. This is how much the characters stuck with me. I don't even remember the main guy's name.
Uh-huh.
I think it's with a K also, isn't it? Whatever.
I don't remember.
Oh yeah, Kaz. So like it got pretty good towards the end. Like they went to this planet, and there was like a bounty hunter after them, and it was like Stacey Tin from the prequels, like that sort of species.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, and there were a few episodes where it did get pretty good, but then it kind of like ended like kind of not very great. So ultimately, it's like I think Resistance is the one thing. It's unlike the Clone Wars, and to a lesser extent, unlike Rebels, like Resistance is the one like animated series that has nothing to do with like the films. Like you could totally ignore it and you would never be missing anything.
Yeah.
Whereas, with these other series, Clone Wars and Rebels, there are tie-ins to the films that, help tell those stories. So,
well, and I've got mixed feelings about that sort of thing. Like, it's a style of storytelling that's happening a lot these days, where it's really kind of populated the Marvel stuff a lot. In that, Clone Wars, Clone Wars is great because it quote-unquote fixes the prequels, right? To the people that were disappointed by the prequels and disappointed by how that story worked out, the Clone Wars comes in and gives you a really long, fulfilling set of stuff and really engaging characters that you get really invested in, so that now when we get to the end of it, like, people are really, really attached to the stuff that's going on. Whereas, when I saw Order 66 in the cinema originally, the music is great, but I don't care that Ayla Secura is killed off. She's never named in the movie. I don't care that Plo Koon is killed off. He's never named in the movie. They're all like action figures that you bought, and that's the only way you know their names. They get shot. Who cares?
Right.
That's a different story now, and they really, really figured out how to pull that off. The thing with Rebels is, what are your favorite episodes of Rebels? Let me sidetrack you for a second. What are your favorite? Give me 5 favorite episodes of Rebels, and let me see if I'm correct about something. I might be wrong. I might be totally wrong.
I'm not gonna have the titles of the episodes, but
just the general thing that's going on.
Yeah. So my favorite thing was the episodes were with Maul and Vader and Ahsoka. When Vader and Ahsoka had their big reunion, that was like my favorite episode. But that little arc there, that's the one that's most memorable to me. Also, later on when, that whole time travel thing was going on, I thought that was interesting. It was a little weird, and I still don't know how I feel about it completely, but like that arc as well was intriguing because, that's just something that's never been explored in Star Wars. So I would say that. What else? I have a harder time remembering like the earlier episodes because that was so long ago now.
But also the earlier episodes were before Ahsoka showed up, or Darth Vader showed up, or Darth Maul showed up. You did call out that your favorite stuff tended to be with Vader and Ahsoka and Darth Maul. Those are characters from other properties.
Yeah.
That was the stuff for me too. Like, I was like, oh my god, yay, Ahsoka's the one behind all this. Look, it's Captain Rex. I love him. Vader, what awesome. Maul, what awesome. It felt like when they took stuff from the Clone Wars or the original trilogy that I liked, that I would be excited about that.
Yeah.
But not when it's like those things tended to not include the originally created for Rebels characters, with the exception of the one where Kanan was training Sabine to use a lightsaber. That episode I thought was really, really something special, and I should rewatch that one because there wasn't even like a stupid bad guy they had to fight. Right? It's just those two.
Yeah,
that was neat.
Good.
That was neat. But that's where Rebels felt a little. Look, Princess Leia's in this episode. That's why you want to watch it. Look, Mon Mothma's in this episode. That's why you want to watch it. Rather than, I want to watch Clone Wars now because I want to see what happens with Captain Rex. I want to see what happens with Ahsoka. I know what's going to happen with Anakin and Obi-Wan. It's fine, whatever. Do that off screen. Yeah. I'm interested in the characters that they created, and it took a while for them to get that way. But that was really an interesting achievement. They made some really memorable, lovable, interesting characters. Hondo, Cad Bane.
Yeah. I love Cad Bane.
I love Cad Bane so much. 6-inch Cad Bane, please. Okay, sorry. Anyway, that was my take on that. You own Black Series Ezra, right?
He's one of the best too. I would say that's probably a top 5.
I totally didn't bother buying him the one time I saw him in the store because I just didn't like Ezra very much. And let's look at his eBay prices. Oops.
And I tell people too, because they say, "Oh, I didn't like that movie." Like people that collect Star Wars are like, "Oh, I didn't like the Rise of Skywalker. I didn't like the Last Jedi. I'm not going to buy that figure." But it's like, I mean, if you really love toys, I think you're going to love good toys no matter what. Yeah, like that.
Yep.
That's a good figure. That's a really good figure. And like I feel the same as you. I wasn't a huge fan of Ezra, but that figure is pretty amazing.
Yeah. It's big regrets on that one. And also, let me be very clear here. I don't like hate Ezra. It's just that he felt a little young and kind of cloying sometimes. I know that by the end of the series, I was enjoying him just fine. It wasn't like, oh, I hate that character on the screen and never want to see him. It's just like, he just doesn't speak to me.
Yeah, I hear you on that. I mean,
but that's okay. It's for a younger audience. I'm 40-something years old.
Right. Yeah, I don't dislike him either, but I just prefer, like you were saying, Kanan, Sabine, Hera. I mean, anyway, we've gone off on a bit of a tangent there. So.
You're going to have a lot of editing to do.
Well, I think people, hopefully they like our rants, because we do go off tangent a lot.
Fair enough.
So,
where were we?
We were talking about Kamina Stormtrooper, or Clone Trooper.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it is. So, okay, the next one is Vintage Collection Stormtrooper Luke. So this isn't really like a reveal, because, I mean, he came out last year, so they're kind of revealing a figure that came out last year, for one, and two, like, it's been heavily, like, rumored for a long time that this was going to be repacked. I think even Hasbro said they were going to be repacking those figures from that set, all of them.
Yeah,
so.
I think so.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that sit on the shelves and never sell, too, right? Like the Pilot Luke.
I saw him a couple times on the shelf, but for the most part, that whole wave of figures never really sat.
Oh, really? At local places here, that was one of the figures that the Pilot Luke was one that just that and Poe Dameron from Rise of Skywalker. If you went to any store, those are the things that are left hanging around.
All I ever find is Snoke and Jyn Erso.
That really? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but
it is regional. It is regional.
Yeah, I think it's pretty widespread though. People always complain about Snoke.
I want to buy a bunch of Snokes and put them in a jar.
Yeah, with some pickle juice.
With some pickle juice. I absolutely want to do that. My wife will not allow me to do that. But one of these days, she won't notice when I purchase a bunch of them. And then I'll have a jar of pickled Snokes, as one Twitter user changed their handle to, which was... I laughed so hard. The Twitter handle is, my favorite character is Jar of Pickled Snokes. Hey, funny. Folks, were you upset that Rian Johnson didn't explain anything about Snoke? Don't worry, here's the answer. He comes from a jar. What a good character now.
Yeah, you'll be doing us all a favor, though, if you buy up the Snokes that are in our stores.
I should do that.
But Adam Paulus on Galactic Hunter, whom I've been, reading, and, for forever, for like 20 years. He says that at Target, they're going to be changing the DPCI number, the SKU number, for Vintage Collection, beginning with the next wave. So they're going to get rid of all the older stuff that's lingering around, and going forward, there'll be a new SKU. So hopefully, that'll fix the situation with older stuff hanging around.
I mean, that would be amazing. Not that going to a store is something, I've complained about this with you before, where I don't really get to go to stores anyway because I live in New York. We don't have Walmarts, and Target is a 2-hour round trip. But that would be nice for the people that get to go to stores. At this point, I've just considered them all online exclusives. And
yeah, me too right now, because I'm not going to stores. I'm not going to Target or to Walmart. I mean, I could, but I don't want to get sick either. So
no, yeah. So you haven't been to Walmart to see if they've got those real Ghostbusters by you? Then, huh?
I haven't set foot in another building outside of my house since like mid-March. Like the last place I went was to the gym, and that was like the day before they closed. So,
not even grocery stores?
No, I order my groceries online.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I have gone a couple of times to go, like maybe like 3 times to get like drive through, like to In-N-Out, or something like that. But
oh my gosh, you have In-N-Out burger.
You know what? There's nothing better than In-N-Out. I don't care what it is. Nothing's better than In-N-Out.
Oh boy, boy.
But yeah, so that's been it though. I haven't like been inside another building. Even yesterday when I went to walk, when we went to the beach, like we were just walking at the beach. We weren't inside like a building. So
yeah.
But yeah, no, there are people that don't really care, and I see it online all the time. They're like, oh, I found this at Target today. Oh, I found this at Walmart the next day. It's like, and they always make sure to say, oh, I had to make a run for essentials. And, it's like, whatever, you were going, just own up to it. You were going to Walmart to look for toys.
We had to go to a Duane Reade, which is a New York version of Walgreens, today, to buy some actual essentials, like some medicines kind of stuff. And I made darn certain to go look at their tiny, tiny little toy section, where they still have, 24 General Veers, which will never sell off, and the bad guy from the upcoming Black Widow movie, Taskmaster. And I was, it was very, it felt good to be able to go to a store and look and be like, oh, there's no toys I want to buy here, curse you, and leave, and it's like everything's normal for a few minutes, except that I was wearing a mask, and there's only 5 people allowed in the store at the time, and you have to wait in the line outside for 20 minutes to get in.
Wow. Yeah.
But beyond that,
Precautions.
Hey, I know I've got a lot of friends in the healthcare industry.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's totally, we're very appreciative of all the sacrifices those people are making, and those that are still, working in the grocery stores and still, doing all these things. Cause like my sister and my brother-in-law, they work in healthcare too. And, they're still working and they're still exposing themselves every day to potentially getting sick. And, it's just,
oh yeah,
so, God bless those people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, they make, they've somehow managed to make a nightmarish pandemic a thing where we can all survive. Those of us, staying in, it's not like, you can do the grocery store runs.
Right.
You can go to the pharmacy if you need. You can do these things. It's really startling. It's
Yeah, totally. In any case.
Sorry, tangent again.
Yeah, tangent. So, yeah, Luke's coming back. This is the last figure that had not been, announced to be re-released from that 3-pack from Comic-Con last year. So, there he is. He's coming.
Cool.
After that, let's see, another Baby Yoda. So, what Baby Yoda was this one?
I don't know. A stuffy of one of the funny. There's so many Baby Yodas coming out. I couldn't keep track.
Yeah.
I'm getting the Black Series Baby Yoda, and I would love it if our niece over in the UK ends up liking The Mandalorian so that I could buy the kind of animatronic one to send to her.
Yeah,
but other
that
than
one's cool.
That's it for me. It's neat. Yeah, it's real neat.
It is. Yeah, and then there's also the Sideshow and the Hot Toys Baby Yodas, both life size. So.
Yes, those are very cool and those are very accurate. Obviously, they're not for my collection, but I'm always a little bit in the camp that I want my Star Wars toys to be toys.
Yeah.
I appreciate them mostly in the way that I would have as a kid, right? So.
Sure.
Like, it's got to be kind of a sturdy plastic that if I want, I can fling it across the room. One of the reasons I don't like the removable lightsaber blades.
Oh, no, those are terrible. Those are terrible.
Yeah, they're terrible.
They just need to, figure arts again. They, for forever, they've always had a lightsaber that's, like, lit up and then a lightsaber that's just the hilt. I mean, Hasbro really needs to do that.
Yeah, just do that. Or, you know what? Worst comes to worst, Hasbro, skip the just hilt.
Yeah, and yeah. That's
do you display any of yours without the blade?
Usually not.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a very cool thing, but
Well, for Vintage Collection, the last Ray that came out actually had both the hilt and the lit lightsaber. But she's tiny. Like, I don't know if you've seen her lightsaber. Like, it's tiny.
Oh, the Vintage Collection one.
Yeah.
I've got. Did I get an opener for that? I think I might have just gotten one for the card on that because, as you know, I wasn't a big fan of the film.
Yeah, her lightsaber is tiny.
Well, she ended up being kind of a rare figure too. At the point in time, I decided to go in and pick up some of those last ones to make certain I had them. She was expensive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rey's still a great character. I love the character. I don't like what they did with her in the end, but love generally the character.
Yeah, I like her too. All right, so next we have Carbonized Darth Vader. So obviously last fall, carbonized stuff came out, and I think for the most part, before they launched, people were kind of like, why? That's weird. But you know what? They bought them anyways because they sold so well that we're getting more of them this year.
Yep. We're getting lots more of those.
Yeah, so there's more of them coming. Vader's kind of like bluish black,
yeah,
I guess.
I don't really like that, which is a bummer. I love Darth Vader. My friend and yours, Matt Cohen, had insisted that I purchase the Empire Strikes Back Darth Vader when it comes out, which I was otherwise probably not going to bother getting. So I'll probably look to his or your guidance on whether I want to get carbonized Darth Vader or not. Currently, my plan is no.
Yeah, if any of them, that probably would be the one that I would open. And yeah, so do you hear the airplane?
I do, yeah. Wow, an airplane.
Military jet thing.
Okay.
Or, no, not jet. It's like those fighters.
We had. Are you guys having the flyover for the workers?
I don't think
We
so.
had that. We had that earlier this week. We had like sort of an air show thing.
Yeah, we have those sometimes, but no, this is just like military plane like flyover, like one of the F-16s or something.
Oh, okay.
It's routine stuff. It's like a TIE fighter going overhead or something.
Yeah.
It's loud. Anyway, so yeah, if any of them, this would be the one that I would get to open just because it's Darth Vader. But we'll see.
Yeah, I mean Darth Vader's always cool, and especially after the original Return of the Jedi one that they released, which was the mask was kind of off. The A New Hope one that came out with the 40th anniversary collection is just he came out of my shelf the other day. I don't remember why I pulled him out of the shelf. Maybe just to look at him. So I'm holding him right now. I mean, it's just so amazing. I love this figure so much. I love it.
Yeah, no, for sure. So after that, we have Zuckuss and Forlom.
Man.
So you know the story about these, right?
I grew up and called the wrong one Forlom. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I bought him on the original card. Forlom was one of the figures that I bought when I lived in Vermont, so I was over 7 years old at the time. There was a little store there called the May Store on Depot Street, and there was still some, sitting around Star Wars action figures at that point, and Forlom was one of them. Forlom and, like, Lobot, I think I also got from the same spot. But Forlom was the alien and not the robot.
Right.
Which, it never really clicked in my head until later on. It's like, wait, that doesn't make sense. Oh, whoops, they screwed it up.
Yeah, it's it's cool. I mean, they're paying tribute to, and I think they did this in 3 3/4 inch for Vintage Collection a while back. So yeah.
Yes.
So I mean, it's a cash grab, but it's not totally unexpected, I guess. I mean,
yeah, it's a good cash grab. The bounty hunters are such fun characters. Can't you still just buy those guys on Amazon though? Aren't they still available?
They're still cheap. Well, I don't know about Forlom, but Zuckuss is still pretty cheap online.
Poor Zuckuss. No one loves Zuckuss.
Well, because he was
more love for Zuckuss.
The thing is, Zuckuss was a Disney Store exclusive, like Captain Phasma with the exposed eye, and the Stormtrooper with the blast effects.
Right, but in general, there's never been any love for Zuckuss, ever. Dengar is a more popular bounty hunter than Zuckuss. Dengar is a guy that has toilet paper wrapped around his face. That's a better bounty hunter than Zuckuss? Poor Zuckuss. I love Zuckuss.
There's a fan film, and I wish I knew what it was called. I haven't seen it in ages, but there's a fan film. It's a cartoon that explains how Zuckuss ended up with those bandages on his head. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but I need to see
Dengar?
Dengar. I need to see if I can track it down. It's pretty amazing.
I think there needs to be a fan film called The Lament of Zuckuss, and it can just be someone singing a song about poor, sad Zuckuss, and he, goes to a convention thinking, oh, he's invited because he's a bounty hunter, and they just want to talk to Bosk and Boba Fett and Dengar, and Zuckuss just sits in the corner and is sad.
Yeah. Yeah, poor Zuckuss. But Dengar's also in the Rise of Skywalker, though, isn't he?
What?
Yeah, Dengar.
When was Dengar in the Rise of Skywalker?
So if you read the making of book, the visual dictionary.
No. I'm not going to read the book. When in the movie did he show up? Was it explained in the movie?
It wasn't explained. Oh no, of course not. It's like the night.
Oh my God!
Why would they explain it in the movie? So yeah. So when they go into on Kijimi, they go into to go see Babu Frick, and there's all those they go through the bar where John Williams is bartending, and that scene, right?
I actually don't remember in the slightest. No.
Oh gosh. So anyway, there's a weird looking alien robot thing, and Like the visual dictionary alludes to that it's Dengar, but he's trying to like extend his life through various means, so he looks kind of like an alien now or something.
Oh boy, I hope they explain that in a comic or on a bubblegum.
His name is Rothgar Deng is the name of the character. Yeah.
Did you know that? Did you know that? I mean, you can. After the movie comes out, and you struggle to figure out to explain what's going on in it. You sit back and you make it up.
Yeah, but this isn't even the kind of thing that needed to be explained. It wasn't.
No.
It's just like an alien in the scene. It's just like,
that's fair. That's fair. That is fair. That's fair.
Yeah, it's weird, but no, it says here. It says Rathgar is an old and experienced Corellian bounty hunter who is likely operating under an alias. He has been subjecting himself to cybernetic replacements in a poorly planned bid to live and work forever. As age began slowing his reflexes.
Why didn't they make that movie? Why didn't they make that movie? Instead, we got somehow Palpatine returned.
As
somehow Dengar
reflexes and dulling his senses, his Rathgar turned. This is for reals. I'm not kidding. Rathgar turned to a black market surgical.
Okay. I love Star Wars. I love Star Wars. I love it.
To replace damaged or wizened body parts. Listen. Rathgar turned to black market. I can't even talk. Surgical clinics to replace damaged or wizened body parts with ones. This is crazy. With ones that will give him an advantage in his dangerous trade. Poor decision making has led to a ghastly appearance.
Well, I'm glad that got explained. I remember when our characters went into that place, I definitely thought to myself, who's that guy? Is that Dengar? You know who it definitely wasn't? It wasn't Zuckuss. Sorry, Zuckuss. Guys. Zuckuss is the best bounty hunter. He's the best bounty hunter, all right?
Sure.
Dengar turns himself into a goblin that's shoved off into a side scene in a sequel. IG-88 just gets shot and killed by the Mandalorian, right? Sorry, that's IG-11, right? But you see he's easy to kill off. Boba Fett falls into a hole and dies. Forlom, I don't know. Bosk, I don't know. Zuckuss is still out there. Zuckuss is still raking in the bucks.
Well, maybe.
Sometimes he goes by the name Forlom. Sometimes he goes by the name Zuckuss. Sometimes he goes by the name Rothgar Dengbutt. Who can tell anymore?
Did you see the picture? Did you look him up? Did you look at the picture of him?
Yeah.
It's I like how they described it, the wizened body parts. He replaced wizened body parts. So
he's my favorite Knight of Ren.
Yeah, you're not old. It's not old. He's wizened.
Wizened.
Oh, is that how it is?
I don't know how it's pronounced.
I don't know. I've never heard it.
No, it's a thing that you read in books. People don't say wizened or wizened in real life.
No, people don't say wizard in real life.
Oh, people should say wizard.
That's a wizard, Annie.
That's so wizard. Remember when that was the worst thing Star Wars had done? Man, how the times have changed. Also, speaking of angry about Star Wars stuff, where's my darn 6-inch Jar Jar?
Oh, man. Yeah. If we made a top 10 list of figures that needed to be produced in Black Series, that would certainly be one of them.
Okay. Zuckuss and Forlom. I don't think I'm going to purchase those ones. As cool as it is, I love my ones that I've already received. I love Zuckuss. I love Forlom. They're great as is.
Yeah, I'm happy with the ones I have. I don't need to buy them again, but I did pre-order them because, vintage packaging. So.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. I would love, they're releasing 6 retro collection figures, right? I would love them to just do the 6 bounty hunters. Retro collection.
Yeah. No, there's something about I know I've said it before, the vintage aesthetic, from that packaging, you just look at it and, it's a more simple time, a bygone era, and it just makes me happy to look at it.
Yeah, so. It's amazing. I love all of it. I love all of it.
Like, I don't even think they were trying to do anything groundbreaking. They just did it.
No, it's a picture of the character. Look, here's the character you're gonna buy. He's tiny and you can't see him. So here's a giant picture of him to see what he's supposed to be. That's it. That's the idea, guys. like later on, they're like, here's an artistic interpretation of it. Here's no, it's like here's a big picture of their face. When you look at the figure's face on the little toy, it doesn't look like that. It looks like a ball of mush. That's exactly what it is, but it's wonderful. I love it. I love it. I'm crazy about it.
With the font and the racing stripes and the stars and.
In fairness, yeah, the graphic design around the rest of it, figuring it out is they've
timeless.
Never done a better version. Yeah, they've never done it better. I liked the 30th anniversary stuff a lot. In fact, I loved the 30th anniversary collection of stuff.
That's another episode we could do. We could talk about like the best like Star Wars packaging like over the last 40 years. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah. But we have to count out the vintage collection because that obviously wins.
Well, we wouldn't have to like do like a what's the best. We could just talk about like the best looks.
Fair. At this point, I would say that the Power of the Force line has man. I mean, if they. Oh, I love it at this point. It's got such nostalgia factor for me now. I love it. Give me some Black Series ones in that packaging.
Where were we? Oh, Zuckuss and Forlom. All right.
Oh, Zuckuss and Forlom, right.
Yeah, so anyway, those are Amazon exclusives, just like Carbonized Vader, in case we didn't mention it. Yeah, so the next thing on our list we have is Han Solo in Carbonite Black.
Thank God. I'm so happy about this.
Yeah, when they showed that picture, I was like, "Oh, that's kind of silly." But then I found out, oh no, it's only $14.99, and it's not going to be a mass release thing. It's Amazon's exclusive, so not a big deal. And it does come on the 6-inch vintage card back, so if you want to display it like that, and it's really cool. It's not a figure; it's like an accessory, but
yeah.
Like you reminded me, this hasn't been out since 2013. It was like the first, or one of the first exclusives for Black Series. So
I think it was the first, wasn't it? It was Boba Fett and Carbonite Han. Because the year after that was Jabba the Hutt, which means I don't own a Salacious Crumb, which breaks my heart. Like that really bums me out.
Maybe we'll get him for Return of the Jedi's 40th.
Don't make me wait 3 more years for Return of the Jedi.
Well, think of it this way. How long have you waited for Salacious Crumb? 7 years?
You ain't wrong. And also, I think we can count 2020 out as like being a year that one moment feels different from the next. So
right,
yeah,
that's
good
true.
point. Good point. Yeah.
So so this is cool. I already pre-ordered 2 of them, so I want one to open up, obviously, because I didn't get that exclusive. Like, I have pretty much the entire Black Series line. There's only a couple things I'm missing. I'm missing like the Mud Trooper from Solo in 6-inch.
Oh, you don't have that?
I never found it in stores. Online, I don't remember them ever having it for like retail price. So no, I don't have that.
Wasn't that just Han? Did they sell that differently than Han? Young Han in the Mud Trooper outfit?
No, not Mud Trooper. The
I remember the mud planet that they were on. The one that has the cape.
The Stormtrooper with the cape. Mimban Trooper. Yeah, that one. I don't have it in 6-inch.
I actually paid $30 for him.
Yeah, I should have done that because now he's like 50. But
oh shoot.
Yeah.
I got recommended that at one point in time that I should just pull the trigger on that. So I was like, all right.
Yeah, it's one of those Walmart exclusives that they didn't really stock, at least locally, and they didn't put them online at retail price. So,
yeah,
and I'm kind of like, I'm just going to wait. Maybe next week they'll get it, maybe next month. And Walmart. Yeah. Love you, Walmart. Yeah.
Love you, Walmart. Carbonite Han. Yeah, I'm really excited about Carbonite Han. Carbonite Han is one of those things. When I was a kid, before they came out with the Carbonite Han figure, what I would do is I'd take my Han Solo figure and I'd wrap him up in tin foil into a little block, and then when Leia comes and saves him, peeling the block off. And so when they came out with the figure, which was kind of lame back in the original toy line, which I've still got. I've still got him. He wasn't great. I've always got a soft spot for Han Solo and Carbonite Block.
Yeah, no, it's cool. I know that they didn't, but it'd be cool if they would have put the magnet on it. That way you could hang it on the fridge like they did the Vintage Collection one.
Yes, having a magnet on that would be really cool to be able to hang it up on stuff. All right, after that's Dagobah, Luke, and Yoda.
Yeah, Dagobah, Luke, and Yoda, the figure that fans voted to have made when they could have had Lobbit or Beskid
A new
Leia,
character.
or
A new character.
So a new character. So yeah, and I think it was heavily rumored during that time that they were already working on that figure. So Tom, why don't you explain what all that noise is going on in the back?
Right now we've got the, this is the 7 o'clock clap. I don't know where you are, if they do it, but at 7 o'clock here, people here in New York are clapping and cheering to support the first responders out there, which is pretty neat.
Yeah,
7 o'clock every day. It's been going on for now 2 months. Generally, I'd be joining in. I've got a little alarm that goes off to do it, but I'm chatting with you right now. Hang on. Woo! It's very nice. It's a very nice thing.
That is really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, the 7 o'clock clap. Do you have that where you are?
We do not have that where I'm at here. I like it.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
That is really nice. No, we don't have anything like that here in San Diego, but I like that. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, as we were talking about earlier, it's people that are still, doing the work that, to keep the rest of us healthy and safe. So it's awesome. It's awesome.
It's very cool. It's a very nice thing to do.
Yeah.
Not quite as nice as the people still going to work every day to make certain the rest of us are okay. But,
Right. Right.
Still cool. Dagobah, Luke, and Yoda.
Yeah, so, aside from the fan vote and all that, these actually look really good. And what I hadn't realized is what I'm hearing now is that they actually, scaled Yoda, said he's a little bit smaller. I guess he's going to be a little bit more film accurate size now, and he'll be able to fit comfortably in Luke's backpack.
Yeah, so this is one I was disappointed by because of the fact that rather than getting a new character, it's another Luke Skywalker. And I was never someone that, again, I think about these things as when I was a kid. I never thought to myself, oh no, I don't have Luke Skywalker where he's got the beige tank top and he's hanging out with Yoda. It just didn't bother me. Uh-huh. So I'm currently not planning on getting this one. That may or may not change, but it's a really nice looking figure. The Yoda's amazing. It's very, very cool. And for people that they just want to have the little scene where he's holding Yoda in his backpack, it's awesome. It's awesome. It's a slam dunk. They did a slam dunk with it, even if it's not the sort of thing I want.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Totally. No, but I think the execution on this looks really good, and it looks like this Luke may have the capacity to outdo the recently released Bespin Luke. So, yeah. No, we'll. I'm really eager to get these. They're available for pre-order on Amazon or Hasbro Pulse or wherever you order toys. Really, retails at $44.99, and
good.
Yeah, and it's got a nice Black Series box, kind of similar to, and they could have done 40th. I'm actually surprised they didn't do a 40th anniversary vintage look for it, but they could have done, they did it like the Probe Droid, so it does kind of have a little bit of a retro influence on it.
I don't have the Probe Droid.
I just got the Probe Droid in this week, but I haven't opened him yet.
All right, I'm looking forward to seeing your review on that one. That's a real question mark in me. My mother, who was really into the original Star Wars stuff, she loved the Probe Droid and she loved the AT-AT. So I've got a major soft spot for those things as well. But I've got the original 3 3/4 inch Probe Droid, the original one, the actual vintage one. I've got the one from the Power of the Force line. I don't know if I need it for the 6-inch scale, but I'm certainly debating it. So I'm looking forward to your review.
Yeah, well, it's I'll be excited to take it out of the package because probe droid. Probe droid. That is, yeah. If you didn't know what a probe droid, and I guess even knowing what it looks like it just sounds weird, doesn't it? Like you don't know what it's going to do to you. Probe droid. It's retro inspired, yeah. So that is cool to see. Wherever they can stick a little bit of that retro influence, I think is great because for a long time now, I felt that Black Series needs a packaging revamp. I'm tired of the red. It's been going since 2015. That's almost 5 years, and it's stale and it's boring. So,
and I liked the very first Black Series look the most. I think
me too. Yeah,
I remember so I was cut this if I've said it before. But I was one of those pissy, moany old guys that's like, no, I just want the vintage collection 3 3/4. I'm not gonna buy these 6-inch figures. And they came out with the first set of them. And I was like, well, maybe I'll get Darth Maul. And my wife worked in Times Square, which at the time there was a giant Toys R Us that was right there. And I said, hey, maybe you would swing in there and see if they've got this figure. And she brought home the Darth Maul, and we were just stunned by it. She even was like, it's really nice packaging.
Yeah.
It really looks slick. It does. Really slick looking thing. And that was one that I was like, I don't know if I want to throw out the package or not. I did. But yeah, that original packaging on the Black Series was great. Yeah, this new stuff. I've got Luke Skywalker right here. Let me look at him. Yeah, this is. I'm gonna pay off my kids' college education with selling this misprint. This is still okay. But yeah, the original design was just really, really stellar.
Yeah, I know it was, and it has that matte packaging. Feels nice. Mm-hmm. Anyway. Okay, so
we talk too much.
Yeah, I know. So the last thing that was announced was going to be the Boba Fett helmet. Now, this is the prototype Boba Fett because they're barely coming out with the regular Boba Fett, and this one is actually cheaper by $25 or something. So I guess because it doesn't have all the paint, just white.
Sure. Because I bought the Kylo Ren helmet because I was dressing up as him for Halloween. I think that these super quality helmets done by Hasbro are great things for probably a little bit more mass market than people like me that want, Episode 3 specific Darth Sidious.
Yeah.
But they're not my kind of thing. I don't own any of the other ones.
Yeah. And you're lucky to have that because I know I mentioned it to you the other day, but that helmet is if you go to eBay, it's selling for $300 in the box, the Kylo Ren helmet, and even loose, it's selling for hundreds of dollars. And I regret not getting one. I mean, it just like you, helmets aren't really a thing I do. They're huge. They take up a lot of room. And
if you ever need to borrow it for a bit, I'll send it over your way. It's just sitting in our closet.
Nice. But yeah,
it's great. It is great. I
think if you had a row of them, in a room, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. There's a toy store out on Long Island that we got to go to once, and we were planning to go to again, but then the world changed,
right? Which
is loaded with Star Wars stuff. That's where I bought my original vintage pack of Max Rebo and his band. But they had lots of helmets in these glass cases in a separate room that you could go buy.
Sure.
As well as all the replica lightsabers and all the Hot Toys statues and all sorts of stuff like that. And you're darn right, it looks cool. It looks really it looks really cool. It looks really cool.
Yeah, no, they all look really cool. They all look great. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of sometimes I still think about, should I go back and get Stormtrooper helmet, or should I get Darth Vader's helmet? But I don't know. It just, they take up a lot of room. I don't really have.
I would bet they'll re-release those ones. If you want Boba Fett helmet, and you're interested in this design for it, this is one to get. Get it out.
Well, Boba Fett's just coming out too, so.
It's not out.
It's just coming out it's just coming out now. Walmart's are just getting them. So.
Okay.
But yeah, no, so, if you like Boba Fett, here's a white prototype Boba Fett helmet. It looks cool. Mm-hmm. But I guess we'll see how it does.
Yeah. I bet it'll do gangbusters. It's Boba Fett. Everyone loves Boba Fett.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, with the helmet, I mean, that pretty much ends, what was announced yesterday in terms of all those new Hasbro Star Wars reveals. And, I mean, for the most part, it wasn't really anything too unexpected. I think the only thing I could really say we didn't know was coming was maybe like, I don't know, the 4-LOM and Zuckuss. I think we kind of had a sense that they were going to do these other things. Maybe, probably the new Stormtrooper and the gray Clone Trooper. I think those, we had no idea. And those are awesome announcements.
Here's the thing. None of these are new characters. And that's what bums me out, right? It's another Stormtrooper. It's another Clone Trooper. It's another Luke.
Right.
It's Zuckuss and 4-LOM that repainted. It's another Darth Vader. There wasn't anything that felt new for me.
Yeah, there wasn't anything really like new, even vintage Luke, it's a repack. Carbonized Vader, that's a Vader that's coming out in the main line later this year, but we've had Vaders before. All of these things we've had before. There's not really anything that's too new. The helmet's a repaint, so
Right.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, even if they couldn't show us pictures, I don't know that it would necessarily have been a bad thing to have like announced. Okay, so Clone Wars is out right now. We're currently announcing for the first time. We don't have anything to show you yet, but we want to announce, X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Ahsoka 6-inch, just announce them and then show us later maybe. But I don't know. They have their own way of, announcing the stuff, I suppose.
Sure. And it is all very Empire Strikes Back heavy right now, and this is all tied in with that. And it's doing a great job with that. It's great. It's great stuff for the people that are really interested in this set of stuff. Cool.
Yeah, cool. So I don't really know what else to say about that.
There's a vote for a repack.
Oh yeah, let's mention that. Okay. The last thing that they announced, and this wasn't a product reveal, was that they were going to be holding Fans Choice, the new vote. So they've done this before over the years. It's been for 3 3/4 inch. They've moved it to Black Series 6-inch. So now they're doing, it's interesting. So now instead of voting for a new figure, they're letting people vote for a new figure to include in the archive line. Now, for those who, may not recall, archive was something from the last year and a half. And we haven't seen anything in a while, but it was their way of getting out the greatest hits figures to retail.
Right.
Once again, the ones that were selling for lots of money on eBay. So
there's no reason for eBay to be making all this money, Hasbro.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now they're soliciting, votes for a figure to be repackaged, which, kind of smart on their end because they're not really having to do anything new. They're just, manufacturing an old figure, that people want. So, no risk really, there's not a whole lot of risk anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're not excluding anything that's at all. Everything's on the table, as long as it's been released in the past. So what are your thoughts on this?
This really kind of bummed me out when I first heard about it because the figures that seem to be the most difficult to get have now been re-released, and I'd gotten those ones originally.
Right.
At least the ones I wanted. I didn't bother getting the original Yoda because I thought it looked terrible, which it did. And then the new Yoda looks amazing.
Right.
So I didn't bother. So I had no interest in this at all until you mentioned one specific character that hits all my old nostalgia buttons, hits all my old, I wish I had this when I was a kid because of certain scenes this character was in. You know the character. Say the character.
Princess Leia as Jabba's prisoner.
That's right. It's amazing. It's I got that figure and it's cool and I'm glad I've got it. It rotted on the pegs for years.
It did.
And she's sitting up there with my Jabba and my Gamorrean guards and my Lando. But man, give me a proper face-painted version of that.
Yeah. It already, I've always felt like that figure already had the sculpt. That was there.
Yeah.
But yeah, like anything that's from a long time ago, it suffers from, outdated paint application techniques. So if they were to implement photo rail in that figure, she would be stunning.
Yep. I would love that. I would love that. That's also the one that, like, if they do the retro collection of Return of the Jedi, please don't give me Final Duel Luke. I was able to put him together myself from 2 different figures. Please give me Jabba's Prisoner Leia. That was Jabba's Prisoner Leia, Tarkin, and Rebel Fleet Soldier were the ones that just felt like we needed to have them, and we didn't get them.
Yeah.
There's you can make that list go on, but in that order: Leia, Tarkin, Rebel Dude. For me, those were the top needs back when I was a kid.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, I mean, looking on eBay, she goes for around 60, which isn't a ton. It's like
you couldn't give that figure away.
You couldn't exactly. You couldn't
give that figure.
But
away.
then when the whole like Disney is banning Slave Leia images rumor, which was never confirmed or substantiated, started being passed around, it shot up in value like really quick. Overnight, like anything Slave Leia related, like shot up in value overnight, basically. So Hasbro didn't say that that's off the table. So I'm going to assume that if enough people demand it, that they could do it. But I don't think that's the figure they're going to pick, because she's going for around $60. There's other figures that are going for a lot more these days. And
which ones?
Commander Cody's going for $200 about.
Oh. Wow, okay, yeah, because I own Commander Cody. I've never paid attention to that. Okay, so, well, if people want Commander Cody that badly, that makes sense to me.
Right.
I'm voting for Jabba's Prisoner Leia.
Yeah, me too. That's my vote, and it's Leia, so.
Yeah, it's Leia.
And like you said, even Ezra's going for 100. I don't think that Ezra's a little more recent, so I don't know that they would come back with Ezra so quickly, but I mean, it seemed like with those first 2 waves, they were primarily focusing on secondary market, for, the decisions they made for those first 2 waves. Maul, Anakin, Boba Fett, to a lesser extent, some of those bounty hunters.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it also just goes to show how good Maul was the first time he came out. Because I got the new version of Maul, and I think you were the one that pointed out to me, like, it's not a big difference, and that's not a knock on the original one. The original one was just really well done.
At the time, yeah, it was really well done, and yeah, it's not a huge difference getting the archive version, but there are other. I personally would, if it's not going to be Slave Leia, I think an army builder would be cool. 501st Trooper, maybe Shock Troopers. Any of those troopers would be nice to have. If you want.
I don't own a 501st Trooper. Wait, do I? No, I own one.
Okay. Yeah, so the first one came out in that Amazon exclusive 4-pack, so...
I sent a pack of that to a friend of mine in Italy.
Nice. Yes.
I don't own it myself.
Yeah, I bought 2 of those, so I could at least have, 2 of those, each of those clones, but that was a great exclusive, by the way. If they wanted to do more clones, I would totally buy more of those clones.
My regrets on not buying that pack now are...
Yeah,
leave the pause in for the regrets. Specifically the 501st and the Shock Trooper, the red one.
Yeah,
regrets. There was a point in time also it was like on sale for like $80. Oops. That's why generally I'm all in on this stuff now.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few others that I would say too, like the Imperial Shock Trooper. That was a Walmart exclusive originally, and then GameStop started selling them, and I should have gone an extra one because the arm on my original one was kind of messed up, but I guess I waited too long. It sold out pretty quick. And
they sold a former local little shop had those for $10 a piece, so I bought 2 of them. This was just before the pandemic.
Wow.
They were just in little baggies, those, and a Stormtrooper and the Emperor. And I bought the Emperor, so that I could, I don't know, put a different robe on him. I've got 4 Emperors now, I think.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that one, the Purge Trooper is actually going for a lot too. That was another GameStop exclusive, but they just relisted it to the website. So maybe they're going to sell it again, maybe not. But people like their troopers, so I
Love
think
the troopers.
I think one of the things we can keep in mind is that whatever the fan vote is, it's only going to be part of a wave of at least probably about 4 figures. So
Yeah.
there will be other things that are going to be re-released as well. And even if it's not, Commander Cody or whatever, there are a few other slots that'll still be in there that will get released as well.
Yeah, I mean, the best thing about the archive collection is it finally means you'll get the opportunity to buy DJ from The Last Jedi again.
No, thanks. No. We don't. No. I still haven't opened that figure, and I'm not in a hurry to.
I own him because at that point I was still trying to be, because of the errors of earlier where I don't own Greedo, I don't own R2-D2. I was trying to be like, I'm going all in on all this stuff. So I got DJ. Like, I liked the character in the movie, but he's definitely not one that I was like, oh, I need an action figure of that. No.
Yeah.
No.
Like a lot of things in those films. It's like, do I need Sarko Plank? Do I need Constable Zuvio?
No.
Do I need...
Well, all right, you want to hear a do you want to wrap this and then like chat for a couple of minutes, like honestly?
I can't, yeah, for a couple of minutes, but then my husband needs to take over for his happy hour thing. So
okay. All right, let's wrap.
Okay. So yeah, some interesting stuff. May the 4th is actually on Monday, so the rumor is that they may be announcing a few more things.
I'm very excited about that because the last time I was disappointed by a Hasbro presentation, which was Toy Fair, 2 days later they announced the Ewok and Admiral Akbar and all sorts of cool stuff. Like, it just like, oh, and here's all this other great stuff you're excited about. So I'm excited about Monday.
Yeah.
When is Monday? Is that tomorrow?
It's in 2 days.
2 days.
In 2 days.
Okay.
So we'll, we might have to do a little follow-up and, if anything is announced and, anything significant. So.
Happily.
Yeah.
I'm not going anywhere.
Let
me say that again. I'm not going anywhere.
My husband will be at work, but I will be, eagerly looking at this. And then Hasbro is also doing a Q&A on Wednesday, so I'll be participating in that session at 5:45 in the morning.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Ask them about Clone Wars stuff. Please do it respectfully, but like really, like, they've known for 18 months.
Yeah.
Unless Monday they announce, here's the Ahsoka clone, and here's the Ahsoka figure, and here's a Cad Bane, and here's a Hondo. If they just do that, then it's like, all right, never mind.
See, yeah, part of it is that they, I had to submit the questions before they even did like the announcements on Friday. So, so I don't think I asked anything regarding what was already announced on Friday, but there may be, because we had to submit those questions, there might be some repeat amongst, the different sites that submitted stuff. So
sure.
We'll see. But yeah, no, I mean, it is May 4th. It is the last episode of the Clone Wars. And one would hope that being the case, that, there might be some Clone Wars information if Hasbro is going to announce anything. So we'll see.
They're going to, before Rebels came out, you could have said something like, oh, here's the dead Ahsoka action figure. Or the dead Captain Rex figure.
Imagine if on Monday they announced it for 6-inch Black Series, Ahsoka Tano, Maul, who else?
Just those. Just give me those.
Just those two.
Just give me those, guys. I customized my own animated Maul, like kit bashing a Clone Wars Anakin figure, the Clone Wars Maul figure, and then the terrible 5 POA Mission Series Maul figure that came out. Like, God, yeah, just give me those. Hasbro, you can sell Ahsoka. You can sell Maul.
Bo-Katan.
You can sell... God, Effing Catan, my God, yes. Starbuck Fett. Give me my Starbuck Fett figure. I've wanted it for years now. Give me a Mandalorian with the spikes on his head. He's Saxon McGaxon. Ugh.
Saxon McDonald.
Give me those 4 figures. Bo-Katan, Clone Wars Maul, Ahsoka, and Maul Boba Fett. Put it into a package that's $120, yeah. Right? How much over retail is that? That's $40 over retail. I'll buy it.
Yeah, me too.
We're suckers, Hasbro. We're suckers for that stuff.
Those would be the dream figures. That would be a dream. Yeah.
Vote for Jabba's prisoner Leia.
Vote for Jabba's prisoner Leia. That's the one I'm rooting for. But as long as they make, it's a nicely well-rounded wave. I think most people will probably be happy. So,
yeah.
Tom, it's been fun. As always, thanks for coming onto the show and chatting Star Wars toys. And, we'll have to do this again pretty soon.
Thank you very much for having me, Victoria. I really appreciate it. I love chatting about toys. I love chatting about Star Wars.
Of course. And where can our listeners go to find you online?
I sometimes show up on Twitter at Woozlin Demon.
Nice. Well, folks, that's a wrap on this episode. Please be sure to tune in to the Victoria's Cantina YouTube channel. We're on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We're also on TikTok. We're doing lots of little toy snippets there. So please be sure and look us up at Victoria's Cantina. Other links in the show notes to all these locations. And happy May the 4th. And we're looking forward to seeing you guys again real soon. Take care.